Welcome to Notebook, a program of interest to the St. Lucie County community that features information about St. Lucie County schools. Guests include school district and community leaders with focus on children in our community.
Hello and welcome to our latest edition of Notebook. We are glad you're here with us today, and we have a very special show and two very special guests with me today. And we have Ms. Kathy Mooring, who serves as the Executive Director of Graceway Village, and next to her is another good friend, Ms. Nancy Jackson, who serves as the Executive Assistant.
That's great.
And two very good friends, and have known you guys for a long time, and just excited about what you are doing for this community, and can't wait to share some of the latest and greatest news that's coming to St. Lucie County. So thanks both for being here today. And Kathy, you've been on the show before, and you know that we always like to give the audience just a glimpse of who you are, you know, just as guests. And, you know, we recognize faces a lot of times, but if you could just share just a little bit of your background and how you came into this position as Graceway.
I've been in St. Lucie County, my husband and I, for 36 years. Prior to this opportunity at Graceway, I was administrator of a small private school that specialized in homeschoolers. I did that for 19 years, and then I retired and looked for a small, flexible, part-time job, and was blessed with a position at Graceway, and before I knew it,
it was a full-time job.
It was a full-time plus, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's just become a passion of my heart, and I've been doing it now for 4.5 years.
Yeah, and doing a fabulous job, and I can't wait to talk about all the things that are happening there, and just, you know, the many programs that are touching lives here in our county. It's amazing. And Nancy, thanks for being with us, and tell us just a little bit. We go way back, because we've known each other since both of us lived in Ohio, and it's been
years ago,
many years. But tell our viewers just a little bit about you and how you came to this position.
Well, my husband and I came to St. Lucie County a little over 3 years ago for his job, and I had in mind that I would be retired and just volunteer places and, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Met Kathy at church, actually, and learned of Hope's Closet, one of the programs of Graceway Village, and knew that they were in need of volunteers. So I decided that I would volunteer, because anything to do with children touches my heart. Right. So I started volunteering, and a few months into my volunteering, decided that I needed to start looking for a job. The same day I went in to talk to Kathy to ask her to pray with me about that. Mm-hmm. The person in my position that I currently serve had resigned. Oh. And so she offered me the part-time position.
Right there on the spot.
Right there on the spot. Huh. And so I've been doing this for 2.5 years.
Wow.
I think.
Yeah, at least. I mean, literally, my other assistant had just walked out of the office after giving her notice when Nancy came in, and just as friends to talk. And so I actually tried to talk her out of it a little bit, just because we were friends, and I don't think that I'm always the easiest of bosses, and I did not want that to be a negative thing between us. But
that's awesome.
We've worked through it.
It was meant to be.
We have. So. You didn't know that, did you?
No,
you
I did not. Yeah, it was meant to be. The stars aligned. So a lot of people in our community, you know, I know very, you know, close to here in this area, may be aware of what Graceway Village is, but many of our friends and viewers south of us may not be as familiar with it. And so tell us a little bit about the purpose behind Graceway and how it got started, and then we're going to hit each of the programs individually. We'll kind of, because I want people to really understand, you know, what services are available that a lot of people aren't aware of. But talk to us a little bit about the background and how it got started.
Okay, it was started, 10 years ago by a local church, Indian River Presbyterian Church. They were gifted the land when they merged, when another church merged with them, and the one condition was to keep it in ministry. And so they birthed Graceway Village. And the first program was Hope's Closet. The second one, 4 months later, was Matthew's Cafe. And they've had the vision of our big project from the beginning. We just revived it, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. We have recently changed our mission statement. Our mission has not changed. We just made it so much simpler. We feed those who are hungry. We clothe the children in crisis. We educate, do all we can to educate those living in poverty so that they can get out, and we do whatever we possibly can for the homeless.
Right. And a lot of people, we were talking just a little bit before the show, how very few people understand the number of children and families that are actually homeless in this county and not really understanding the severity of it.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
I think that's been the most humbling experience for me. It's so much more severe than any of us realize. I mean, the current statistics in our St. Lucie County school system is we have over 1,700 children who are registered as homeless in our school system. Now, that is a federal definition of homeless. When you put it down to what you and I might automatically think of, it's over 500 of those children living in campgrounds and in their parents' cars or in tents in the woods by themselves. We are blessed with a tremendous homeschool liaison through the school system who focuses on
an awesome job.
them 100%. One of my greatest concerns, and I know hers as well, is that we have a lot of children who are homeless whose parents either don't know that they can receive additional support from the school system if their children are registered, or they're too afraid to because they're afraid their children will be taken from
Right.
them. So we know the number is greater than that.
Right. Now, is there a partnership with the United Way as well?
My goodness, we could not do it without
Right.
the United Way. They have been supporters of ours for over 6 years. They are just as focused, if not more so, on helping all these needs and, housing and the homeless situation. Absolutely.
They're a key partner.
A key partner.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about each of the programs because each one is very unique. And let's start with Matthew's Cafe. And this is something that I've had a chance to be a part of a little bit. Actually, not on the cafe side. It's really serving the meals with our life group. We've been able to do that and be a part of that occasionally. But talk to us about Matthew's Cafe and what's available there.
Thank you. On Sunday nights, we run a food kitchen called Matthew's Cafe. Last year, we fed over 8,400 people. Currently, there's Sarah's Kitchen. They have a food kitchen somewhere in St. Lucie County, Monday through Friday. We had a commercial kitchen available to us, and so they decided we needed to do a food kitchen. They chose Sunday night so that children going to school on Monday mornings would have something in their system. So that when I came on, that's what they did. And I've always been the believer for me to be the most appropriate, I guess, employer or boss. You need to know what all the jobs are. So I started volunteering in there right away, and I immediately became humbled. I lived 12 miles away, and yet my first night that I was volunteering in the cafe, serving food, some neighbors down my street came in, and they were regulars. They were an elderly couple, and that humbled me greatly, and they're still coming. And of course, I got to know them much better after that, to understand more of what their needs are. You don't, and what
Have
that
any idea.
impressed me, right, what that impressed me on was that we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We really don't. And that's how they make it work, is they hit all the food kitchens. And it's actually a very smart way of doing it when you have limited income.
Right.
And then it was just a couple times after that, one of the families from my previous position in the school, they came in to eat. And that was harder for me. I actually tried to hide because I did not want them to feel embarrassed in any way. And they were embarrassed, and they didn't come back for a while, which broke my heart because obviously the need was there.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. But then from that point on, then there was a sweet elderly couple that came in. Oh, Jane, she was quite elderly and so dear. And it took her forever just to walk across the cafe to sit down. And then her husband, it took him another 10 minutes to get inside the building. And they were mid-80s to upper 80s. And they drove. And they shouldn't have been driving.
Right.
And that then put the thought in the minds of everyone involved that we needed to figure out how we can reach the seniors who can't come to us because we don't have transportation
Right.
in the evening, especially on weekends. So we created the Homebound program, and that's what you've been a part of. And it's really great. I did not know that there were two main public housing communities for seniors and disabled until we started. We finally got a grant. It took us a while to get the grant, and we finally got that. And I went to talk with the building manager. I found out there was 2 buildings, close to 400 seniors and disabled living in the public housing. So we got involved, we vetted, and so every Sunday night we deliver up to 60 meals, hot meals.
And they are amazing meals too. I mean, what we got to serve was just, and so appreciative. I
They
mean,
are.
just every one of them. Just can't thank you enough, when you come and visit them. And, some of them will pull you aside and have conversations, and
Oh, they do.
just love to, chat and, have those little conversations that they may not get to have otherwise. So that's a ministry in itself. And when you talked about grants, I know this is kind of off script a little bit, but I know as an administrator, you've always got to look for ways to fund the different programs. So the grants are ways that you are able to assist with that, I'm sure.
They
So,
are.
yeah.
Absolutely. They're integral to the program. United Way is the largest. We received a very generous one from 100 Women Who Care. I don't know if you've heard of that particular group. It's absolutely phenomenal. And so we received a very generous one back in October from them.
Right.
And of course, there's Allegheny and the other ones.
Right.
We've had blessings from them the past couple of years. The biggest sustenance, in all honesty, I think Nancy could attest to it, are the individual donors, our community care partnership.
Right.
Those are the ones that maintain consistency
Consistency.
for us.
Right.
And we also know with that, there's their voices, because when they invest into something, then they will speak about it
Right.
to others and bring it in.
Exactly. And we're going to talk about that at the end of the show, just how viewers can get involved and,
Thank
not just their time, but monetary and, even donations, with the lightly used clothing. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But just, this is a community effort and changing lives for your neighbors, So, if there's an opportunity for people who are watching, we really want to give them that opportunity to do it. So let's talk about Hope's Closet, and this is kind of this has been around for a little while, actually.
It was the original
it's
program,
Okay,
the
that's
first
what I
one.
thought. So Nancy, talk to us about Hope's Closet and how this program works, and then let's go ahead and hit, because I think if we talk about how people can provide donations as well, we'll talk about that.
Absolutely.
Why you're mentioning that now.
Yes. Well, Hope's Closet, the thing that appealed to me the most when I first came as a volunteer was just the way it's set up in such an organized and neat and friendly manner, and it's cheerful. It's set up like a boutique, just like maybe like a Plato's Closet or Once Upon a Child. So when clients come in, they feel like they're coming to shop just like any place else. And the idea of being able to treat them with great respect and integrity is paramount
Right.
to us. So not to judge them, but to share our grace with them in providing what is needed. So each client that comes in gets 3 outfits along with brand new underwear and socks. They get the gently used clothing, 3 tops, 3 bottoms, and we have a whole section of school uniforms, which is important to us.
absolutely.
Trying to help the students feel good about themselves in the classroom, because I was a teacher previously and a former part of my life, and so I know how important that can be to students. And so we really try to provide clothing for them that they can feel proud to wear. So each client goes away with probably 17 to 18 to 20 maybe items, and so they get a good amount. They can come back every 4 months. They just have to attend a workshop, which that's later on the agenda as well.
Right.
But to help them with the education process and just to work toward improvement. So the clothing that we have on the racks is all donated, and we have a whole sort room that is manned by volunteers, going through the clothing and helping to pull out just the very best and donate what we can't use to other organizations. We have a lot of partner organizations that we can also contribute to. So
Yeah. So regardless of what someone would donate, there's going to be someone using it.
it's going to get used
regardless of what-
somewhere.
Somewhere, right.
Correct.
Well, we did
Right.
get an aquarium yesterday.
Is that right?
We did. And yes, and it's still sitting there, and we'll pass
wow.
it on
Oh, wow.
to one of the agencies. So.
Yeah. There you go.
Somebody, yeah.
Yes.
That's unique. I haven't
Yes,
heard that one.
yes.
But very thoughtful. So on the website, I noticed that you have several other programs, and one of them is the Getting Ahead. So
Yes.
talk to us about those programs.
I absolutely love the Getting Ahead program, and it's part of the nationwide initiative of Bridges to Prosperity. And it's for individuals, adults, who are living in poverty, struggling, and they're trying so hard to get out, and they just keep hitting that wall. And this is the way I describe it for myself.
Yeah.
And this program is a 17-session course where they come twice a week, 2 evenings a week, and they're with their peers, and we have 2 trained facilitators, and they look at their community, and that they will find that the things that they thought were wonderful benefits, a lot of them are actually predators to their success. And when they find that themselves and discuss it amongst their peers, they actually get quite angry because they didn't realize that. But they're also much more willing to accept it because they've discovered it on their own, which is one of the main teaching methods of that, of the course. And then they take that same investigative style into their home life, what they've been taught all their life, what their thought processes are, their parenting, their marriage, what the problem solving. And they really tear it apart and they find the pros and cons again. And they start to make those changes. And when they find it on their own, we all know, we learn so much better. And then from that point, they start to establish what is the goal, what do you want to do next? What do you need to, then you back it up, what do they need to do in order to accomplish it? You know, get high school diploma, different certifications, and then we have a social worker that will follow them for another year to make sure that they can get the support that they need as they continue with the process. We're very fortunate this year. We partnered with Mustard Seed. Actually, they're the fiscal agent of it. And so between the two of us, I think we're hosting our 6th and 7th, starting on February 12th, new classes, and it's funded by the United Way. So it's a real opportunity for a step up for these families.
And if someone listening, you know, it may be them or someone that they know that they would want to refer, how would they go about getting signed up for these particular?
Wonderful question. They need to either call Mustard Seed or Graceway to be interviewed. In order to participate in the class, they need to be individuals who are struggling financially. It's a great class for so many of us, actually, but the focus of the grant is to help those who are currently in financial struggles. And they need to be adults. Honestly, we're looking for adults who are willing to work and are willing to work towards a career that's going to span 20 plus years. So the reality is someone my age, I would probably say, I so understand, and I'm an intellectual. I found that I'm turning into an intellectual nerd, but this really is not the appropriate class for them. So we're looking for probably 18 to 45 age group willing to work, and then we will work alongside of them wonderfully.
And working toward that goal, and you know, it's even more rewarding when you know you've set your goals for yourself and want to really progress toward that, and
Absolutely.
That's amazing. So there are other workshops as well,
Yes.
besides the Getting Ahead, and so let's talk a little bit about the other workshops that are available.
Yes, so at Graceway Village, we try to host at least one workshop each Wednesday, so that if somebody comes and wants to participate in the workshop, possibly have lunch at Matthew's Cafe, and then also get clothing for their children, they can do all three of those things
in the same
one
day.
little trip.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. So the requirement is that they need to take, our clients, the Hope's Closet clients, need to take at least one workshop in between their 4-month visits. So we try to provide at least one every Wednesday so that they have something that they can attend. The Getting Ahead class is obviously an option for them. If they do that, then they're exempt from needing to take further workshops. So
Oh, wow. That's a nice incentive.
Yes.
I agree.
So so we have all kinds of workshops. We partner with Families of the Treasure Coast, formerly Parent Academy, but they're now Families of the Treasure Coast, and they come and they conduct the workshop there for us on site at no charge to the client, and so that's at 11 o'clock on Wednesdays, and they do those sessions in four different sessions of those. And then we also have people who are volunteers, like a former banker who comes and does the financial workshops, like budgeting or balancing your checkbook, just things that would be helpful in that way. And we've had St. Lucie County Department of Transportation come to help our clients understand how to use the bus system.
Oh, wow.
So just anything in the community that can be helpful to them. We have one volunteer who comes and does healthy eating, just ways to fix healthy foods for your family and different ideas for recipes and things. So it can be anything, but
I was going to say, you know, just a variety of topics that they could
Yes.
actually participate in.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've got to check these out because I didn't know all these
You
opportunities.
did not know.
I knew a few of them, but not all of these, and that's just, wow, a great experience for anybody, you know, to really get a chance to better, you know, their situation, and that's awesome. So the big piece that I really wanted to hit today was, and this is awesome news for St. Lucie County, is your transitional facility. And knowing that this is coming, there's nothing like this in this area, that I'm aware of, correct?
No, there is not.
And nothing in the Fort County area that I'm aware of. Is that correct?
Oh, there is one in Vero
Okay.
Beach, and there's at least one in Martin
Okay.
County.
Okay.
Nothing in St. Lucie
No,
County.
I was going to say, nothing here, I
No.
know.
We have a part-time shelter at
Right.
the Image of Christ, and then Adam's Place is opening at the end of this month, and that's for men. But there's not even a
Shelter, right.
let alone a transitional living facility for
Right.
homeless families.
So this is major news for
It is.
this community, and I know you've been working on this for a very, very long time, you know, and I know there's, you know, anytime you're working with federal dollars or state dollars or grants, you know, there's so much paperwork that goes behind all of it. I mean, you know, it's a lot of work that a lot of people may not be aware. But this is a big deal, and you know what it's going to provide this community is just beyond, you know. And if anyone who's listening if you get a chance, visit Graceway Village's website, and you can read about it, see the drawings, which
That's
are
right.
oh my gosh, it was just like wow. But talk to us a little bit about, you know, just kind of how this started and kind of where we are in the development of this, and just share with us this awesome news.
It's awesome news,
It is.
and it's still certainly a passion very much
Right.
for all of us on site. From the beginning, this was a strategic plan too.
Right.
Was this transitional living facility for homeless families? Then when we had the recession hit and everything else, they did right before they hired me on, made the decision it just was not a viable vision, and they set it aside. And a couple years went by, it never left me, probably because, you know, we're frontline. We get the phone calls, we
Right.
get the people walking in. And so the board revisited it. So it was 2 years ago, we took it on again, just a continuation of it. What you see on the website is the end result, which will be, may I still be alive when that happens. But we've been able, with a lot of counsel from our community, we've now broken it down to smaller pieces. We'll start off with a few cottages, and then we can add to them, and then we'll start off with a small version of that and add wings to it until it becomes the end result on the
right.
website. That will allow us to start so much sooner, which is definitely our goal, because the need is not decreasing.
Right.
It's not. And the difference between a shelter and a transitional, a shelter gives them an emergency housing, but it does not provide the social services and all the other assistances to first stabilize them and then to grow them to a point where they're self-sufficient financially and healthy, both in their marriages and families. And so we're going to do the best of both. You know, everyone will come in for 3 months under an emergency housing situation. We'll assess them during that time. And then some, that's all the help they need.
Right.
But unfortunately, a majority of them will need to stay for another 15 months or so to work out a plan so they can then become self-sufficient and healthy. I mean, there's a two-edged sword there.
Yeah. Where the shelters a lot, I don't know, as you're talking, I'm just thinking of just the Band-Aid of the situation, you know, where this type of facility is really going to be that healing piece, and
That's
you know,
right.
to
great
just
illustration.
change from the inside out, and that it's so exciting, and just thrilled to be able to have the viewers hear about this. And we also want to let them know too, on the website, I was perusing through the website a
can
couple
tell.
times. Yeah, there's actually a place where they can donate. So, you know, if you feel like this is, you know, something that you want to be a part of and to support, you know, there's that little button to very quickly hit and provide that donation. And, you know, knowing that you're changing lives, you know, right here in your backyard is just, it's tremendous.
It is.
And anybody that is watching, we encourage you to do that. So I know fundraising is, we've only got a few minutes, and I want to try to hit all the fundraising things that are coming up as well. You have various events through the year, and you have the Butterfly Kisses.
Butterfly
Do you have the-
Kisses.
Okay.
It's
So
the
talk to
seventh.
us about that.
It's the seventh year. It's a father-daughter dance at the Pelican Yacht Club. It's really the premier father-daughter
It really is.
opportunity.
It really
There's
is.
nothing so special. These little girls feel like they're princesses. They are dressed like they're princesses, and almost all the dads are dressed like they're princes.
Yeah.
And it's just it's so much fun just to sit and watch them.
Yeah.
My granddaughter's going to go this year,
Oh,
so
good.
I'm going to have so much fun watching her and her
Right.
daddy out there having their
Aw.
fun.
Very good.
And it's a big fundraiser for us, of course.
Right.
We don't hit them too hard on that. We know that daddies are busy with their daughters. But it's just a delightful event.
Yeah, and give us the date for that.
April 7th.
Okay.
That's a Sunday. It's from 1 to 4. And they can purchase the tickets now. They can go on our website and purchase the tickets, or they can email us. I think you put Hope's Closet at gracewayvillage.com. Or else they could also do info, I-N-F-O, at gracewayvillage.com.
Good. And golf tournament, is there a date
Yes.
set for that yet?
We do not have a
Okay.
date set for that. It's been June or July,
All right.
but that is in the beginning planning stages of it at this
Yeah.
point. But
Good.
we've had, was it 2 or 3? 3. Last year was our, you've played,
Yeah.
both of
Yeah,
you.
yes. I
was
think
it a
last
third
year was
year?
a third year, I think.
Yeah, I
Third
think
year.
so. Yeah.
we're
Because
looking
we
forward to
missed
that.
we missed playing in the first tournament, but we played in the last two.
The last
It's
two.
so
I
much
think you
fun.
won one year. I think you won something.
I
one
did.
year.
She did.
Longest
She
drive,
won
I think,
longest
yeah.
drive.
I don't know how that happened, but yeah.
There weren't many
But
women.
there weren't. There
Yeah.
weren't. But luckily, that was the only way I would have won. But it's just such a fun day. And last year we got to play. It was my husband and our oldest son and grandson and me on a team. So
Oh,
it was just
special.
kind of it really was. It was just a great day. Just a great day.
Your grandson won
together.
something, didn't he?
He
It was
did.
very cute to see.
He did. I can't
He's an
remember.
excellent golfer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
He is very, he's quite the golfer, but yeah, he's enjoying that. So he's already asked when the next golf tournament is. So I'm
Ah.
sure we'll be participating in some
Good.
respect. But so we want to remind people to check out the Graceway Village website if you're interested in the Butterfly Kisses fundraiser, and then also keep an eye out for the golf tournament. That'll be sometime in July. And then we want to remind you one more time, just to, if you would like to make donations as part of this transitional housing, there's a place right there on the website where you can make a donation. And really, any other monetary donations, opportunities that,
Yes.
please share with us about that.
Well, our program is called Community Care Partners. Just like you have the monthly ones, you can adopt a child in another country. Like my husband and I, we've got Guatemala, a sweet little girl
Right.
from Guatemala. The same thing, these are children in our community. These are the individuals, our neighbors that we're helping. So Community Care Partners is set up very similar, is that they can go ahead and sign on and do a monthly donation. Some just do one
For the year.
one for the year,
Right.
or monthly, and that's a very key component to our monthly sustainability for all of our programs in Graceway.
Right, good. And if you'll give your website one more
Yes.
time and a contact number.
Okay,
Just for our people.
gracewayvillage.com. It's very easy there.
Yep.
And our contact number is 772-925-3074. And the reality is, with getting ahead, we're taking those registrations right now. So we're really encouraging people to get the word out on that.
All right. So if you're watching or you know someone who may be close to you, in your community that could really benefit from the services at Graceway Village, we really want to encourage you to reach out, check out the website, give them a call, and they will walk you through, the necessary steps to be a part of these programs and have the needs met of whoever it is. And we just want to thank you both for being with us today and sharing about the amazing things you're doing for this community. It really is, and we don't take that lightly. And knowing that it's something that is near and dear to both of your hearts, and knowing both of you, it just knowing that you're making a difference each and every day. We appreciate that very much.
Thank you, Jay.
So
Thank you
thanks
very
for
much.
being
Thank
here,
you.
and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for being with us, and don't forget to check out gracewayvillage.com, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.